1-2. And he struck him out. Filthy sinker.
And use nothing.
If you stick around long enough, you're going to see goofy stuff.
Here at T-Mobile Park tonight.
Into right field.
Hey, welcome to the Couch GM. Today is Luis Castillo's first home start as a Mariner. So today I'm headed up to T-Mobile Park in Seattle to watch the game and film his pregame bullpen. Today he's going up against Garrett Cole and the Yankees. This is the second time facing Cole and the Yankees in just a week. The last time out in the Bronx, Castillo went 6 2/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, allowing 3 walks, and had 8 strikeouts. That was a 7-3 win for the Mariners. So we'll see if Castillo can continue to silence the Yankees bats tonight. And if you like this content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, give it a share, and let's get into it.
Castillo in his second start as a Mariner, making his T-Mobile Park debut.
4-4 on the year. He's 1-0 with the Seattle Mariners in one start, and that was a win against the Yankees in New York.
Welcome to Seattle, baby! Welcome to Seattle, Castillo!
Early on with that slider. 97, top shelf. One, two, and he struck him out. Filthy sinker. Too hard. A weak wave and a miss. Call it feeble. Here is Luis Castillo and his numbers all in this season between the Reds and the Mariners.
Now this will be his 16th start of the year. 5-4 record, but a 2.95 ERA and 91 2/3. He has 98 strikeouts on the year.
In steps Josh Donaldson. He homered last night. Another 1-2. And he struck him out. Filthy sinker in on the hands. And Donaldson can't touch it.
Castillo's home debut as a Mariner may end up being the MLB's best regular season game of the year. This turned out to be a pitching duel like no other. Castillo and Cole went back and forth, combining for 15 shutout innings, striking out a combined 15 batters. They allowed a combined 9 base runners, and neither of them threw a fastball under 95 miles an hour.
On the inside corner, strike 3.
Cole went 7 innings, giving up 4 hits, no walks with 8 strikeouts, while Castillo went 8 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 walks with 7 strikeouts.
Under first. Wow. Luis Castillo in his Seattle debut inside his new home ballpark slays the evil empire over 8 scoreless.
To show just how hard it is to hit a baseball, check out this side-by-side. The exact same arm angle, exact same release point. On the left is a sinker coming in at about 98 miles an hour. On the right is a circle change coming in the high 80s or low 90s. The sinker starts above the strike zone and comes down at the last moment, while the circle change starts in the zone and then dives out at the end. No wonder why in baseball, if you're getting a hit just 30% of the time, you're probably an all-star. Throughout this entire game, velocity played a huge role. Through the first 8 innings, out of 241 total pitches, 160 of those pitches were 95 plus miles an hour. Coming in relief, Andres Munoz, Aroldis Chapman, and Clay Holmes continued this streak, and there wasn't a fastball thrown under 95 miles an hour until the 10th inning. And then in extra innings, it came down to defense and base running.
And here is Matt Festa.
Line, a leap, and a catch. Back to second base. They get two.
2 outs for the Yankees.
Into right field. Catch made. Sam Haggerty.
To win it.
The 1-0. Swing and a comebacker right to the mound. Peralta will go to second for one. Relay to first. It's in time. A double play to end the inning.
And use nothing.
If you stick around long enough, you're going to see goofy stuff. And we just saw some of the most remarkably incredible goofy stuff.
Now Aaron Boone has to be feeling like he's watching a Little League game.
3-2 pitch from Brash to LeMahieu. Strike called. Got him. Fastball at 99.
3-2 pitch. He got him.
Got him swinging, and Suarez snaps his bat in two.
The Yankees have the bases loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 13th inning.
Oh, ho, ho, what a silly hack. Torres trying to chase the slider. 2 gone.
The batter is Miguel Andujar.
Ground ball to Crawford. Not where you want to hit it. Bases loaded, jam, escapes.
It's here at T-Mobile Park tonight.
Into right field. It is it. It is it. The Mariners win it. The first run is the only run and an instant classic. It's the game of the year.
Man, what a game. And it turns out that this is the first game since the runner on second rule went into effect to go scoreless through the first 11 innings. The Mariners then beat the Yankees 4-3 on Wednesday, making them 4-2 on the year against the Bronx Bombers.
The Seattle Mariners.
And putting them into second place in the wild card, 1.5 games ahead of the Tampa Bay Rays. It'll remain a tight race for the AL wild card, as the Orioles are just a half game out, the Twins are 1 game out, the White Sox 3 games back, and the Red Sox are 4.5 games out. The Guardians will also be in the mix, as they're just 1.5 games ahead of the Twins in their division currently. But the Mariners are fortunate in that they have the most favorable remaining strength of schedule the rest of the year, with their remaining opponents combining for a .442 average record. The M's now head out on a favorable road trip with 3 games against the Rangers, 3 games against the Angels, 3 games against the A's, and then back home for 2 games against the Nationals, 4 games against the Guardians, and then 2 away games at the Tigers to finish out August. A day after it was announced that Kyle Lewis would be headed to AAA, Julio Rodriguez was activated from the 10-day IL. Kurt Casale was also activated from the 10-day injured list. Jared Kelenic was optioned to AAA. And the 13th inning hero from that game on Tuesday, Luis Torrens, was designated for assignment. Earlier this week, it was also announced that Chris Flexen would be moved to the bullpen. And every Thursday morning, Jerry Dipoto is interviewed on the Mike Salk Show on Seattle Sports 710. And today, Dipoto commented on the move for Flexen, as well as his plan for George Kirby's workload moving forward.
What's the hope with, or the plan there with Flexen?
You know, our thought process, we talked through it. Would we do a piggyback? Would we do a 6-man rotation? Would we just, send one of the starters to the bullpen and allow it to roll the way it was rolling? And, most of what we've done is trying to make sure that we preserve the ability for our starting pitchers to impact the game. And we've talked a lot about George's innings and more importantly, his stress level. And when we sat down and talked about it, and more importantly, when we asked George feels great. And, he's not feeling the stress of the innings that he's building up right now. And we're just going to take it, game by game and allow him to pitch, albeit on a pitch limit, and which has always been the case. But we're going to let him go until we see the stress starting to pile up, rather than, create a unique situation like a piggyback or use 6 starters and minimize the value of these guys taking the mound every 5th day. Because you want Luis Castillo and Robbie Ray and Logan Gilbert and Mark, you want those guys out there. And we thought that among the pitchers we had, the guy who would adapt best to a bullpen role, because he's done it more often in his career, was Flex. And unsurprisingly, he was willing to jump into the bullpen and contribute. And I think the answer we got from everyone we spoke with was, hey, just want to win. And that's the answer we got from Chris.
It's great to hear that George Kirby isn't feeling the stress of his workload yet, as he's provided quality innings, and it turns out that he has the highest strikeout to walk ratio through a pitcher's first 15 career starts in MLB history. And with Logan Gilbert going through a bit of a rough patch right now, to have some stability with Kirby in the rotation is a big deal. Moving on to the Mariners bullpen, you might have seen a previous video of mine that I made preseason and why I thought the Mariners were going to have a top 5 bullpen. Well, they might just have the best bullpen in the league. Over the past 2 months, Andres Munoz has been nails. Over 24 2/3 innings, he has 44 strikeouts, which is a 51% strikeout rate, which is good for first in the American League. And over the span, allowing just 2 earned runs, which is good for a .73 ERA, with an opponent's batting average of just 114.
He does, though. The slider at the knees. LeMahieu is down hacking. The 3-2 to Judge. Swing and a miss. Munoz. The 0-2. Oh, 102.
That slider is unfair when you got to be ready for 102. And speaking of sliders, according to Fangraphs, the Mariners have 4 relief pitchers in the top 9 as far as most valuable sliders in the league. And you guessed it, Munoz is at the very top, beating out even Edwin Diaz. I'll end this video with a little appreciation for Sam Haggerty, who's been absolutely tearing it up as a utility guy and will be a key piece on this team moving forward. And I mean, come on, he broke up Nestor Cortez's no-hitter in the 6th inning with the solo homer.
Hammer out to left field. Hit number 1 is off the foul pole. I don't know where you're going to find room for this statue, but Sam Haggerty is just owning everything.
Thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, just a reminder to please subscribe, and also, Cal Raleigh is Big Dumper.
All right, guys, goodbyes only. Don't forget it.
Stop it.